to Sisters Inc., our podcast for and about women business owners, brought to you by Black Enterprise. I'm your host, Elisa Gums. Black women are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in America. And on every episode of Sisters Inc., we sit down with one successful CEO to share how she slays the challenges of being a Black woman in business. Today's episode is all about paying it forward. We're chatting with Mahisha Dellinger, the founder and CEO of natural hair care brand Curls, who has been wildly successful herself, but spends much of her time pouring into her fellow entrepreneurs. Welcome to Sisters Inc., Mahisha, and thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Thank you for having me, of course, anytime.
So I've had the pleasure of speaking to you a number of times. And I know that a big reason that you do what you do is because you're called to service. You're a woman of faith and a woman of action. But I also know that you didn't have a you when you were coming up. An established, Black woman business owner who could guide you through some of these things. So what is it that you wish that you'd had that you're trying to make sure others have now?
Great question. And you are absolutely right. I did not have a Mahisha in my life to really impart that wisdom that could show me the blaze trail and leave the map behind for me. I didn't know where to go to answer just simple questions like, how do I determine my pricing? Or how do I get someone to help me with my products? How do I get into retail? How do I start this business? I mean, anything I needed to know, I had to kind of stumble upon it and figure it out. So school was a great starting point for me. I was the first one to graduate from college and I had a business degree, marketing major. So that helped. But there are some things that I just didn't have above and beyond that. So it's always been my journey, my mission, my purpose, and my passion to help other women of color and young girls of color get to and through success and give them the examples, the tools, the roadmap, everything they need to get there. So I feel like to whom much is given, much is required. So if I have the knowledge, why not share it?
I'm sure over the years you've been approached hundreds of times about being a mentor.
Yes.
For those people that you are willing to take under your wing, what makes them attractive to you? What makes you want to invest your time and energy?
Yes, great question, because I do get approached quite a bit and I can't take everyone on, although I would love to on an individual basis. I do have an academy, which we'll talk about later, to help the masses. But what I'm usually attracted to is someone that really has the gumption, the grit, determination, work ethic. They're really going after it. They may not know it all because who does? But they're at least giving it their all, because you have to, and I have to really believe in the company, the brand, the service, the owner. I have to really believe and have some sort of magnetic field or drawing to it. Like Guns N' Roses boutique. And that's one of my owner, Princess is my mentee. Love her spirit, her soul. We come from a very similar place and she's had, obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. And I just love her gumption. I also work with the Foot Nanny from my show. Oh, and then the Furlough Cheesecake ladies, who have a cheesecake company created during the furlough situation that happened years ago, and they just boomed to success. So I wanted to give them the foundation they needed because they had a lot of success, but needed the foundational work. So it really is. Oh, and then the two youngest entrepreneurs, Paris and Peyton, they have a whole clothing line, and now they're doing swimwear. Oh my God, they're the cutest little girls ever. So it's really something that is a chemistry. It's a personal thing. I can't really explain it, but it's something about the person that I'm attracted to. And I usually see a little bit of me in that person some way, somehow. And so I do those one-on-one, but then, I like to offer the mass services available, like my Zoom sessions, which I'm doing now. And also I'm doing Black Girls Making Millions Academy. I have those classes. So I try to find ways to help the masses too.
So speaking of ways to scale your impact when it comes to helping entrepreneurs, 2 years ago, you had your own television show. It was called Mind Your Business with Mahisha on OWN, where you went around helping struggling Black women business owners. And when I think about all of those business resuscitation shows on television, The Profit or Bar Rescue or whatever, I mean, what immediately comes to mind is that it's a bunch of white men. who are
Right.
the hosts and who
Right.
are giving the advice.
Right.
Did you think that a voice like yours was missing from the conversation?
I do. I absolutely think so. You're right. There were always white men leading the charge, and they were the experts, and they were the gods of business, and they were the ones that everyone took their input and their advice from. But we want, well, Oprah and the whole network wanted to have something for us by us and have a Black woman speak to other Black women. So I'm glad she did that. But yes, it was important for us to see and help each other. Other ethnicities do that. They bind together so tightly. Koreans, American, Japanese American, Jewish. I mean, everyone else know the Jewish American people. They work together and make it happen collectively. And it's not so much in individual boxes, and no one's not a crab in a barrel. It's more the collective force. And so that's what I hope to do and hope to impart upon my mentees and the people in my circle and people in my sphere of influence, is that the importance of working together. I don't know if we always get that right, but we need to do better there.
The thing I love about the way that you help other Black women entrepreneurs is that, we don't always start out at the same place
Mm,
as other entrepreneurs. We often sort of are like working from a deficit.
mm. Absolutely, I agree with that. That was my purpose of creating Black Girls Making Millions Academy, to really level the playing field. I noticed that my counterparts, white counterparts that have launched businesses at the same time that I launched Curls, came to the table with more access, information, tools, funding, all the things I did not have. And so my goal is to like level that playing field from here to here, because we need to have that equal footing so we can be equally or more successful. And so that's my goal.
We're going to take a quick break while we adjust our crowns over here, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Sisters Inc. podcast. We're chatting with Mahisha Dellinger. Mahisha, I would love to know, with the Black Girls Making Millions Academy, why it is that you focused on the specific milestone of $1 million. I mean, as you put it, you're planting seeds for the next batch of millionaires.
Well, I saw and read the data that surrounds Black businesses, and 4% up, even though we're up 300%. So increased number of businesses have grown 300%, Black female-based businesses. Only 4% will make it to the $1 million mark. So getting to that, over that hump, is the challenge. And that's what I want to help do away with, and give them what they need. Because after you hit that first million, then the next goal is a 5 and 10. So getting over that first hump can be the hardest of them all in business. So that's why I've targeted $1 million.
So your most recent program, which you put into place this summer, is one that is designed to help Black-owned beauty stores. Tell us about
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, well, interesting enough, I had an episode on Mind Your Business with Mahisha, where one of the business owners owned a beauty supply store. And when I walked into her beauty supply store, she owned two actually. I saw her shelves were full of dusty, old, dated products that no one was using anymore. She had one bottle of curls, and I said, "Hey, what's going on? Why aren't you able to get more products?" She said, "Well, the distributor that she works with would only give her the dated stuff because down the street was a Korean-owned store, and they gave them everything. They serviced them well. They gave them terms. They had all the hot sales and promos and items. She had to go and pick her items up and pay by check. She had to go physically pick them up versus getting it shipped to her. Everything they did different for the Korean store, they did total opposite for her. So they were giving the other competition more access and better experience. And so I said, I need to shift this. And I already knew that, I saw that before. We know that in this community, the Korean beauty supply store owners, they sell to us, but they don't like us. And so they will block us where they can, when they can. And I don't want to do grand sweeping judgments, but we can say if it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Okay. So we've seen situations where we have been discriminated against in our own community and in our own industry. So my goal is to remove all those barriers and help the Black-owned beauty supply store owners get fair terms, get better credit terms, get the products they need, even free products, connect with the best distributor in the US to get everything they want and need, and also have a free class with me to help them through their businesses. So I created this alliance for that purpose, and it's been going phenomenally well. We sign people up every single day all over the nation. And when they sign up, they instantly get access to my database, my pool of distributors, and the number one distributor, they get an account with them with extended terms, free curls products, all works.
I think that's so important because, I mean, the distribution network itself is really important, but you touched on two things that are like nuts and bolts of business that people aren't talking about, which is that they get lower purchasing minimums and they get extended payment terms. So this is not just, a program to look nice and say, we're giving people access, but these are like real business advantages.
Yes, because like I said, with the name of the beauty supply store was Girl Cave LA. So she had to pick up her items and prepay with a check. Her competition had credit terms. She could not. She had been doing that for 5 years. And then on top of it was getting the scraps. Just unfair. Just totally unfair.
Yeah. So one of the other benefits they get is one-on-one business coaching with you. What have you been teaching these business owners since you started over the summer?
Actually, the first one's tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we got everyone signed up, got everyone signed up for the programs and got what they needed and introduced to our distributor and got everyone their special POP displays and we just support them. We're promoting them on our social media, Black Beauty Supply Alliance on Instagram. You'll see features of the different owners and their stores so you can support them. So tomorrow's the first one. And we're going to do them back to back to back, lots of questions. So it's really for them. And they come with their questions and what they need. And I'm just, no presentation. I'm here as a vessel helping you get through and get to all your questions you need answered.
Well, thank you so much, Mahisha, for not just sharing your small business success story, but for all of the ways that you're helping create more small business success stories. Everyone out there, if you aren't already familiar with the brand, please take a look at curls.biz. And you can also follow them on Instagram at curls or follow Mahisha at Mahisha_Dellinger. Check out the podcast channel on blackenterprise.com to find Sisters Inc. and other podcasts from Black Enterprise editors, writers, and experts. Be sure to subscribe to Sisters Inc. on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, or YouTube. And if you like what you hear, show your love. Leave us a 5-star review or put a sister on by spreading the word. This is Elisa Gums with Sisters Inc. for Black Enterprise. Thank you for listening.